The year Titanic sank, this also happened. Welcome to the first episode of This Also Happened. When you see an interesting historical event, do you feel the urge to find out what else happened that same year? Then this show is for you. I'm Paul DuVall, explorer of history and technology. And now, my fellow explorers, fasten your seatbelts and enjoy this historical expedition through 1912, the year Titanic sank. January 1st, the Republic of China is established after overthrowing the Qing dynasty, the last imperial dynasty of China. The Republic of China later becomes what we know today as Taiwan. January 22nd, the Overseas Railroad opens, and the first train arrives in Key West, Florida. A fantastic feat of engineering. It is widely considered to be the eighth wonder of the world at that time. March 1st, Captain Albert Berry makes the first successful parachute jump from a flying airplane at 1,500 feet and lands at Jefferson Barracks, Missouri. March 6th, Italian forces become the first in history to use airships in war for aerial reconnaissance and bombardment, as Italian dirigibles drop bombs on Turkish troops encamped at Janzer from an altitude of 6,000 feet. On this same day, the first Oreo biscuit is sold by the National Biscuit Company, aka Nabisco, inspired by the Sunshine Company's Hydrox cookie. March 7th, after a long and arduous journey, Roald Amundsen, Norwegian explorer of polar regions, announces his successful discovery of the South Pole. March 27th, Mayor Yukio Ozaki of Tokyo gives 3,000 cherry trees to be planted in Washington, D.C. to symbolize the friendship between the two countries, and those cherry trees can still be seen in D.C. today. April 2nd, Titanic undergoes sea trials, including tests of speed, turns, and an emergency stop. Following the sea trials, she heads to Southampton. April 10th, Titanic sets sail from Southampton for her maiden and final voyage. April 11th, Titanic weighs anchor in Queenstown, Ireland, her final stop before sailing for New York. April 14th, Titanic hits an iceberg at 11:40 p.m., 370 miles southeast of the Newfoundland coast. April 15th, Titanic sinks at 2:20 a.m. as the band plays on, with the loss of between 1,490 and 1,635 people. April 16th, Harriet Quimby becomes the first woman to fly across the English Channel. April 18th, Cunard liner Carpathia brings 705 survivors from the Titanic to New York City. April 20th, Fenway Park officially opens and the first official game is played between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Highlanders. Boston beats New York 7-6 in 11 innings. Kinda like you should beat that like button until it turns blue. April 30th, Carl Laemmle founds the Universal Film Manufacturing Company of the United States, later known as Universal Studios. May 5th, the 1912 Summer Olympics open in Stockholm, Sweden. This is the last Olympics to issue solid gold medals, and, with Japan's debut, the first time an Asian nation participates. This would also be the first Olympics to hold art competitions, women's diving, women's swimming, the decathlon, and the pentathlon. May 8th, Famous Players Film Company is founded, and after a series of mergers is renamed to its more famously known title, Paramount Pictures. It is the fifth oldest surviving film studio in the world after Universal Studios. May 13th, with the growing recognition of the potential for aircraft as a cost-effective method of reconnaissance and artillery observation, the United Kingdom establishes the Royal Flying Corps, the predecessor to the Royal Air Force. Made up of 12 manned balloons and 36 aeroplanes, RFC's motto is Per Ardua ad Astra, through adversity to the stars. May 23rd, the Hamburg America Line's SS Imperator is launched in Hamburg, Germany, and takes the title of world's largest ship, a title previously held by the Titanic. Check out this epic photo of the SS Imperator in Hamburg, with an airship flying overhead. June 6th, the Novarupta volcano in Alaska experiences a massive eruption. While no deaths directly result from it, the Novarupta eruption goes down as the largest volcanic eruption in the 20th century. June 7th, U.S. Army Captain Charles Chandler and his pilot Lieutenant Roy Kirtland conduct the first successful firing test of a machine gun carried aloft in an airplane using a Lewis automatic machine gun and a Wright flyer. By the end of World War I, airplanes with mounted machine guns have developed into an essential component of every major world power's air force. July 10th, Japan's first taxicab service, comprising 6 Ford Model Ts, begins operation in Tokyo. October 14th, while making a presidential campaign speech in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Theodore Roosevelt is shot in the chest by John Fleming Schrank. After the police haul Schrank off, Roosevelt, with blood seeping through his shirt, announces, "Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether you fully understand that I have just been shot, but it takes more than that to kill a bull moose." He then speaks for another 90 minutes before completing his speech and accepting medical attention. This X-ray is later taken, showing the bullet lodged in Roosevelt's chest. Doctors conclude it would be less dangerous to leave it in place than to attempt removing it, and Roosevelt carries the bullet with him for the rest of his life. October 18th, the First Balkan War breaks out with Bulgaria, Serbia, and Greece against Turkey. This war, as well as the Second Balkan War, helped set the stage for World War I. October 26th, the Woolwich Foot Tunnel under the River Thames in London opens. November 5th, Democrat candidate Woodrow Wilson is elected President of the United States, defeating Republican incumbent William Howard Taft and progressive candidate Theodore Roosevelt. November 24th, conflict in the Balkans grows into an acute international crisis, with major powers throwing their support behind either Austria or Serbia, tipping the world even closer to World War. December 5th, the Triple Alliance among Italy, Austria-Hungary, and Germany, originally signed in 1882, is renewed for another 6 years, a move inspired by instability in the Balkans. December 8th, Wilhelm II of Germany convenes a war council at Potsdam with his military leaders after receiving the news that the United Kingdom would join with France and Russia in the event of a European war. Yet another major step closer to the First World War. If you enjoyed this episode of This Also Happened and would like to see more videos exploring amazing history and technology, subscribe and hit the bell. I'm Paul DuVall. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the future.